Sunday night in the NBA, we had 7 games to go through and the return of the one and only. And we start tonight in Los Angeles where LeBron makes his comeback, but the show was stolen by his co-star. First quarter of this one, Lakers back home after losing in Minnesota. And right away, here comes LeBron. Emphatic dunk on one end to let the world know he's back, and then on the other, the chase down. This is what the Lakers need to be doing. Defense, defense, defense. Davis the block, LeBron the tip in. Remember, this is a Memphis team coming in as one of the best teams in the entire league. Reeves behind the back to Davis. That was the common theme all first half long. When Davis is aggressive like this, they are hard to deal with. Second quarter, and here come the Grizzlies. Morant to the rim, no good, but Zach Edey, the putback. Grizzlies down by 8 early in the second. Morant again, this time it goes in for 3. But the Lakers were the aggressors the rest of the half. Defense again, this time Reddish. Then more from Davis, doing a little bit of everything. The dime. Next possession, go right back to Davis against the former Laker, Jay Huff, and 1. Lakers cruising now in the second. The chemistry between these two hadn't missed a beat. All this talk about Anthony Davis, and rightfully so, but LeBron James was looking fantastic today as well. That long rest really looked like it healed him up real nice because he was looking spry tonight. Fourth quarter, Lakers up by 10. They've been in command all game long. LeBron wide open for 3. As good as LeBron was, though, tonight, all about Anthony. Sometimes we forget about his greatness. Tonight, though, he reminded us of what he's capable of. Look at this stat courtesy of Arash Markazi. Most career games with 40-plus points and 10-plus rebounds. Anthony Davis is 9th all-time, and obviously, as Arash says, Wilt Chamberlain was playing a different sport. Now we'll see if the Lakers can keep it consistent. Their next 2 games are against Davis's arch nemesis, Domantas Sabonis, and Sacramento. They play them on Thursday and Saturday. Special night for Anthony Davis, special night for Klay, Luka, and the Mavericks. Full recap of this game is on my page. This team is really freaking good. Luka is sensational once again tonight. How about Klay, his best game of the season against a familiar opponent? We head to the Eastern Conference. Knicks and Magic battle for the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Magic obviously without their 2 best players. If there's one thing, though, you can count on with these Orlando Magic, it's that they're going to give you their best effort every single game. In the first, Knicks playing some defense. Remember, these teams met up at the Garden a week ago when Towns and Wagner got into it. Tied up a minute to go in the first, Brunson's turn. Now pulling it back on Jet Howard for 3. Second quarter, there are those 2 best buds, Towns and Wagner, going at it once again. This round goes to Cat. Knicks up by 2 a minute later. Cat again going right by Wagner, too easy. Moments later on the other end, Wagner returning it right back for 3. They both play with such an edge. I love to see these 2 compete. Cat responds with a 3 of his own. End of the first half, Knicks up by 9. They're starting to roll. Cat with the extra pass to OG. Knicks up by 6 in the third, 8 minutes to go. We talk about this all the time. Cat's playmaking out of the post, beautiful pass to Hart. Even without Franz and Paolo, though, the Magic looking for offense and finding it today from Mo Wagner. Wagner was keeping him close, but in the fourth quarter, the Knicks' firepower on offense just too much. Brunson with a 3, now Towns with the block, and on the other end, here comes JB finding Hart, going to the rim, beautiful spin, Knicks win. Brunson leads the way with 31 points, 5 assists. Karl Anthony Towns with 22, 22, and 5. But most importantly, check out that final score. They held him to 91 points. And a third of that was from Mo Wagner with a career-high 32 points today. Remember that without Franz and Paolo, we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of these types of games from Mo. Next up, Wolves and Spurs from San Antonio. Minnesota's been looking like they're finding their groove. Today, though, a tall task for Minnesota, literally, as they're dealing with Victor Wembanyama. Wemby with the block there later in the first. More defense from these young Spurs. Sohan the big block. Up ahead to Wemby. Tough finish and the foul. Minnesota up by 4, 3 minutes to go in the first. Edwards got off to a great start on offense. Edwards with a 3 there. Next possession. Edwards spin cycles so smooth. Second quarter, we saw San Antonio's defense. How about Minnesota's defense? Remember, this has been where they've been improving so much. And Rob Dillingham with a 3. Minnesota now rolling in the second. Minnesota Mike for 3. Third quarter, Wolves up by 13. They've held San Antonio to only 39 points to this point. Spurs trying to rally and Wemby keeping them close on defense. A block for Wemby on one end, on the other, loose ball goes to Chris Paul to Champagnie for three. Now it's a 5-point game, CP3 to Wemby against his fellow Frenchman. In the fourth, Minnesota back up by 8 and Gobert returning the favor to Wemby. Next trip down the court, this is what Minnesota's been looking for, balance on offense. DiVincenzo with the floater, now Minnesota up by a lot, and Rob Dillingham to Josh Minot off the window. Wemby did his thing in the loss, 20 points, 12 boards, 7 blocks. For Minnesota, we talked about the balance. How about Jaden McDaniels with his first career double-double tonight, 12, 11, and 4 steals. Phoenix tonight, Trailblazers and the Suns. Is it crazy to say that Tyus Jones has been the Suns' third best player? Jones with a beautiful dime to start things off. We know they're a different team with KD. Here comes Tyus again later in the first, one of the best offseason additions, bar none. Suns up by 3 when KD's back. Booker cooks as well. Second quarter, vintage KD going to work against Shaedon Sharpe. There's nothing you can do about this. Here he goes again later in the second. He's looked really good since coming back from the injury. Third quarter in this one, though, Portland up by 3 and Shaedon Sharpe extending their lead. Trouble for Phoenix. Now it's Jeremy Grant working in the post to the Blazers starting center tonight, Donovan Clingan. So Phoenix in a little bit of trouble. How do they respond? Tyus to Devin. Fourth quarter, Phoenix up by 4, starting to get back on track. KD with the mid-range, now KD pushing the pace up ahead to Monte Morris to the rim. Tough finish. Suns back up big. Final touches on this one from Tyus. Suns beat the Blazers. Tyus Jones with a big game. And notice, a name I didn't say, Bradley Beal. He was out again tonight. Considering Bradley Beal's lack of availability again this season and considering how reliable Tyus Jones has been, I don't think it's a hot take to say Jones has been more important to this team this season than Beal. Next up in DC, it's David versus Goliath, Celtics versus the Wizards. Wizards actually got off to a good start in this one, but now here come the champs. Jason to Jalen right down the runway. End of the first, and here comes Tatum against Coulibaly, going to work, hitting him with that spin move, baseline, nasty spin. Final seconds of the first, and more from JT, going to his right, pulling up for 3. Here come the champs again, this time in transition. It's White to Hauser, they're up 17. Here they go again in transition. Hauser pushing it and finding the swing to Brown. Extra pass to Pritchard, and Pritchard for 3. Speaking of Pritchard, there's the 6th Man of the Year candidate once again, stepping back again. Pritchard was great. Tatum was great. This one went about exactly how you would expect it to go between these two. Craziest stat of the night. The Celtics have more wins in DC than the Wizards this season. That is nuts. And by the way, the second player in the league to hit 100 plus 3 so far this season, Peyton freaking Pritchard. He's my 6th Man of the Year right now, and right now it's not close for me. Last but not least tonight, Pelicans and Pacers. Before the game, though, we had this report from Mark Stein and Jake Fisher. The Pelicans are open to trading anyone on their roster except for Herb Jones, Vise Misi, and Trey Murphy. That's obviously going to be the team to watch at the trade deadline because they have been an abomination this season. Halliburton to Toppin to start things off. Pacers looked better the last game when they beat Philadelphia behind Halliburton. Now it's Toppin to Hallie. By the way, it's been quiet because they've been bad this season, but Indiana's had a great year from Obi. Another 3 there from Obi. A few minutes later in the second, here's the new Pacer, Thomas Bryant, just acquired from Miami, hitting a 3. Third quarter, Pacers up big, and this is what they needed. Tyrese Halliburton with a 3. Moments later, Halliburton the steal, and it's showtime. Reverse slam. Very next possession, Turner pokes it away. Halliburton picks it up, and he's going to go and get the reverse Pacers win. Say what you want about Halliburton, but look at the difference recently. First 16 games, 15 and 8.5 assists. Last 10 games, much different player. The numbers, the field goal percentage up, the 3-point percentage up, the points up. And most importantly, on nights like tonight, he looks like he's having fun again. On to tomorrow, we're going to have 6 games, Sixers and Hornets. Miami's been red hot. They're in Detroit. We know what happened last time when they were there, when Spoelstra called that timeout when he didn't have any. Cleveland and Brooklyn, first game without Dennis Schroeder for the Nets. Bulls and Raptors in Toronto. This to me is the game of the day. Nuggets in Sacramento dealing with the Kings. And then Utah in the Intuit Dome dealing with the Clippers.